Hey folks, it's Cole from the Underground. Today we got a special animal to show off to you guys. The Ambanja Panther Chameleon. Just a super cool animal. These guys are from Ambanja, which is a city in the north of Madagascar. If you guys know much about chameleons, they need much humidity. My friend Kiki, she's got one here too. This one's a little calmer. Today we have two males to show you guys. As far as care goes, these guys need a lot of humidity. You can get past 90 degrees humidity where they're from. Hello, looks like he wants to come visit me. Okay, so you guys will have to spray them 3 times a day. This is not a low maintenance animal. These guys need a lot of care, but they are worth it. As you can see, I mean, they get pretty blues, all these magnificent colors. If you guys know anything about the Panther Chameleon, they're just magnificent, way cool animals. They do require a lot of care though. If you guys are looking for a project, they'd be really fun animal to have. You can breed them after a year, the females, but I have a male with me today. The male does get a bit larger. They get 12 to 22 inches is the average high end range. The male does get bigger, as I said. Just a super cool animal. They are easy to handle. You know, if you don't freak them out, they do stress easily. So try not to handle them too much because they are a solitary animal. They like to have their space. Don't put them with any other males. That won't bode well for your Panther Chameleon if you'd like to have one. As far as care goes, they like to be in a screen cage. If you plan on doing your setup outside, then make sure that you have a plant or something in the cage to hold the humidity. In Ambanja, it does get to upwards of 90% humidity. So these guys need lots of humidity. They need a hot spot of about 90 to 95 in their cage and a place where they can go cool off at about 70 to 75 degrees. So as far as spraying, if you have an indoor cage or if you're needing to keep the animal hydrated, which this animal has to stay very hydrated, then about 4 times a day, 3 to 4 times a day with the spraying, and this guy will stay happy, healthy, and beautiful. He'll have those big full eyes, and you will have a happy Panther Chameleon. Heat and UVB need 6 hours of sunshine a day. That's the Panther Chameleon. Smile for the camera.
Hey guys, Peter here from Underground Reptiles, and I got one of the coolest animals you will ever see with me today. Right here I have what's called a Mossy leaf-tailed gecko. This guy is Reptiles sakuri, and Reptiles is a very, very cool genus of gecko that comes from Madagascar. There's some of the wildest animals you'll ever see, like the satanic leaf-tailed geckos, the giant leaf-tailed geckos, and this guy's called the Mossy leaf-tailed gecko. You'd see that because it looks like, obviously, he's got moss all over him. Now, when these guys are up on a branch, on a tree, it is almost impossible to see them. These are one of the best camouflagers there is. You can see, obviously, even look at his chin. He's got like a little tiny beard that comes off, and you know, it breaks up his silhouette so things can't see him. You know, predators are trying to eat him, things like that. You know, these guys are great pets. They do well in our arboreal setup, you know, where they can climb, stick on branches where nobody can see them, things like that. You know, pretty basic care. They like it a little bit milder in temperature, good humidity. Insectivores, they love crickets. You can even do some small roaches, things like that. They're a great pet, and obviously, as you can see, one of the coolest looking animals you will ever see. And that's a Mossy leaf-tailed gecko.
What's going on, guys? Two of the animals on this week's creature feature is the tailless whip scorpion, also sometimes called a cave spider. as well as the Vinegaroon. We're going to take a quick look first at these tailless whip scorpions. Now both the Vinegaroons and tailless whips actually occur all over the world pretty much. You got them in Asia and Africa, even parts of the US, South America. You can find these animals. One of the reasons why they call them cave spiders is some of the species of these actually are found naturally in some caves. They kind of hover on top of cave walls. They're really, really slender animals, so they fit real nicely on some rocks. You can they almost go completely unnoticed when you sit them on a piece of rock or something like that. Now also where they get that name whip spider from is that long, it's almost like an antenna or feeler. Basically it's located on their sides and on their backs, and this one has one that's broken. They do regenerate back, so it's nothing unusual there. And these are technically speaking an arachnid. Just a different type of arachnid. They do not have venomous fangs, they do not have silk glands, they don't have any stingers or anything like that, but they are predatory. They use these, if you can get close here, these long, they call them pedipals here on the front. They've got these like thorn-like features, okay, which they actually also use for defense, but they'll grab a piece of prey with them, scoop them up, and then hold on to them while they chew them up and eat them. Like I said, they'll also use them for defense, so if I harass him, he'll kind of swat at me with them. It feels like almost like a little thorn prick. Now, if you thought those whip scorpions were freaky looking, check this out. This is called a Vinegaroon. All right, this is a south, I think these are the southeastern ones. These are the ones that occur here in the US. And it looks like a pair of punching gloves right on the front there. Those also have those little hooks and thorns on the front. They'll use that as a defensive mechanism, but also Vinegaroons have something interesting. This tail here will actually secrete like this strange kind of bitter odor, and you got to be careful. It secretes a chemical, it's an irritant, so if you get it on your hands, you touch your face, it's going to irritate you. But where they get the name Vinegaroon is the smell that comes from it. It's almost like a vinegar-like smell. All right, these are also arachnids, like the tailless whip scorpions, like the cave spiders. All right, and just like the tailless whip scorpions, and also like scorpions too, these guys will actually carry their young on their back. These guys carry their egg sacs with them, and then when the babies hatch out, they'll carry them on their backs. All right, Vinegaroons, also completely harmless, non-venomous animals, just like the whip scorpions. They do have delicate bodies and delicate antennae, as well as their little tail back here, which they secrete that chemical from. Breaks off, they do regenerate as well. Freaky looking arachnid if you're looking to get into something interested. Vinegaroons and tailless whip scorpions right here at Underground Reptiles. Booyah.